Hi guys, this is another Batrep. I was preparing jalapeno poppers for the game. I was expecting quite a number of more people than that showed up. I smoked those poppers for about 2 hours on the smoker with mesquite, and they turned out really good. I had a fridge full of beer, soda, water, and then a fully stocked wet bar for the game. These are the poppers when they finally finished cooking after 2.5 hours. They were delicious. Here is the setup for the game. This is World War II, the tail end of Operation Bagration. So the upper right-hand side is the Baltic Ocean, and the road on the right-hand side of the table is a road going from east to west. The Germans are holding on to this town to keep the corridor free for the rest of their army to escape to the west. The Russians, on the other hand, are trying to sever the tie of Army Group North by capturing this town and by cutting off that road. These are the initial setup deployments of the German Grenadier Company. Now, we're using the Cauldron mission out of the book of Flames of War. Here's the initial setup locations of the Strakovy battalion from the Soviets. It's one company in the woods there, and that's the second company in those woods over there. I rolled, luckily rolled both of those units in the same area. So they're going to be focusing on that objective on the left-hand side. These are the reserves for the Soviets. They got T-34-85 company, a mortar company, and a platoon or battery of 57mm infantry guns. Here's the Germans. They have another infantry platoon, a scout car platoon, platoon of Panzer IVs. And yeah, that's what was left of the poppers after we were eating into them. Turn 1, Soviet turn. Launched off our starting positions, going out of the forest. On the left-hand side there, which is the main thrust, that's where the battalion commander is located too. And then the secondary support thrust coming from the right-hand forest. German turn 1. Germans were pretty stationary, holding on to their positions because they're dug in and gone to the ground. They had little response the left-hand platoon. This platoon that was getting ready to receive hell unleashed withering fire into the Soviets. That company got pinned. They got so much fire. It's the advance of the center column. Soviet turn 2. Advanced out of the woods completely with both right and left Strakovy companies starting to return fire and pinned the grenadier. Actually, I think it's Panzer Grenadier. German turn 2. By the way, at this point, neither one of us had rolled for any reserves. We were rolling awful for that. Paul decided to start moving his left-hand platoon to support the defense of the right-hand platoon. Once again, withering fire from the defensive platoon, just chewing into the Soviets. This time they pinned not just the right flank, they also pinned the left flank. Soviet turn 3. Reserves finally came on. I got a mortar platoon that arrived on one edge of the table. Then the left-hand company, Strakovy, finally launched an assault and pushed the Germans off the objective. The Germans are still contesting the objective at this time. They got them pinned and on their back heels. The center company was pinned. I had them open fire on the Germans to get them the pin as well. The T-34 company arrived on table, and I rushed forward at double time to try to put pressure on the other flank. This may have been reckless of me, but I wanted results. Turn 3, Germans. So the Germans got 2 platoons on reinforcements this turn. They got the Panzer IVs on the right-hand side and a group of Panzer Grenadiers on the left. Panzer IVs took the opportunity to fire into the T-34s that were going in double time, firing at double the amount. But since the Panzer IVs were moving, it was 8 shots, which bailed out 2 and destroyed 1. The Grenadiers arrived. Nothing but spotters for them to see. Facing down between the Strakovi company that assaulted the Grenadiers and the Grenadiers that were pushed off. These Grenadiers attempted to dig back in, but they failed. Since both platoons were pinned, neither could shoot at each other effectively, and neither could launch assaults. They were just watching each other. Soviet turn 4. T-34s launched an assault on the Grenadiers that were in the open because they had gotten out of their holes to try to support their other platoon and annihilated them, and then reconsolidated into a defensive line. The Strakovi decided not to fire and went to ground. German turn 4. Germans got some more reinforcements in this turn. They got some armored cars. Exchanging shots with the T-34s. The Panzer IVs were knocking out some of those tanks. There were the armored cars, and then the Grenadiers moved forward. They had launched an assault, killed a spotter that was out there in the woods, and consolidated. German mortar platoon showed up. Germans tried to push the civilians off the objective, but were shoved back. Soviet turn 5. Instead of attacking the weakened Panzer Grenadiers, I decided to dig in on the objective as a Soviet player. Exchange shots with the Panzer IVs. I don't think I killed a single one of them, but they were plinking away at the T-34s. I dug the other Strakovi company in. The lake is impassable, so that limits the choices of movement for the Grenadier company that came in. German, turn 5. Panzer IVs fired, withering fire at the T-34s. T-34 company made its morale check, even though they're under half strength. Heroes of the Soviet Union. They will hold on to their objective at the beginning of turn 6 Soviet. The Panzer Grenadiers, leaning on their sides, tried to assault the Jacobi that were dug in and got annihilated. Armored cars moved up, but they didn't do anything. The other Panzer Grenadier platoon had to walk around the lake as opposed to having to deal with the dug-in Jacobi. So this is where we called the game, because obviously beginning of turn 6, Soviets are holding both of the objectives. This is a Soviet victory. The Soviet commander rushes to the Baltic Sea, fills up wine glasses with seawater, corks them, sends them to Stalin's desk in Moscow to indicate that the Soviets have cut off the remnants of Army Group North. He had a great game. This me on the left, and then Paul, the German player, on the right. It was a fun game. Hope to get more games in soon. See ya.